Welcome back to Sow, Grow and Cook. Here's a little peek at last year's tomato harvest. This year's plants are not at that stage yet. Obviously, they're still very small and we've got to tie them up and support them. So today we're going to be putting the long strings down from the crossbars and the crop bars to support the tomato plants. We're using baling twine. I'll just show you. Lots of this stuff which we get from our bales of hay. It's plastic or polypropylene, not sure. Never rots down, a bit ugly, but it's really, really useful. We're trying to recycle and reuse rather than just throwing away. So Bob and I will get started. Bit warmer in here than I expected. It's a chilly day. Right, so we've got the string here, and basically I'm taking it to not at the bottom of the plant, but just below halfway, and I'm going to loop it around. I've got this pulled snugly from the top, and I'm going to just tie it loosely around the stem, the main stem of the plant. Put it in a knot, but I'm not going to make it too snug against the plant because I don't want it to rub and get abrasive. Now, as the plant grows, I'm going to gently wind it around the baling twine. Now, I've also got a little side shoot here that needs to come out, growing in the joint of the stem there. I'm just going to pull it out. You want to keep the side shoots trimmed, otherwise the plants grow too bushy
and it restricts airflow, and you're more likely to get things like blight. So I'm just going to keep these trimmed back, and as they grow I will continue to take off surplus foliage, and hopefully these are going to grow quite tall up this stem. Okay. Right, a lot of people say, what are the side shoots on a tomato plant? Well, the side shoots are the bits that grow in the V between the leaf that comes out and the main stem. So there's a good example of a side shoot. You don't really need this, and if you leave it, it's not going to hurt the plant as such, but it makes the plant rather bushy and can restrict airflow and can kind of take some of the energy out of the plant from making fruit to making leaves. So I'm going to remove that. You can break it off, or if you're worried about breaking it off cleanly, you can get a little knife or a sharp pair of scissors. Now apparently if you stick that in a jar of water, it will root, and you've got a little clone plant of the plant that you've got here. So if you've got a hybrid plant, you can actually make another clone plant of the hybrid plant. Okay, I don't need any more plants, so this is going to go into the compost pile. Now, keeping your tomato plants free of those side shoots is really good for their health and good for your harvest. You really, I can't emphasize enough, you really want to get maximum airflow in your polytunnel or your greenhouse or outdoors, wherever you're growing them. But that's only for the tomatoes that grow in a cordon or a long stem. There are other types of tomatoes called bush tomatoes or determinate tomatoes, and they just grow bushy and short, and you don't have to trim the leaves off those. But I like these because you can grow them up and they take up less space relative to the amount of crop they produce.
Well, I hope you found that useful, and will be checking back in the tomato tunnel from time to time to see how they're growing. And once again, thank you for watching Sow, Grow and Cook.